What's poppin' CTers? It's CJ Williams for Culturalist Theory, and after embarking on solo journeys, the Brothers Thornton are back as a duo for the first time in 16 years. Perfect timing for our channel because if you count their shelved original debut, this makes 5 albums total, meeting our criteria for a ranking. Now, this list will not include any solo material from Pusha or no Malice, nor are we counting their mixtapes. We'll save those for another day. Only the 4 official releases and the shelved debut. Now, don't forget to like and subscribe if you're feeling the content, and tap into our Patreon for bonus album reactions. With that out the way, let's get to it. Number 5, Till the Casket Drops. It's very rare when artists or producers publicly denounce albums they were a part of, but it has happened. Till the Casket Drops by Clipse has entered the chat. Bouncing from Jive Records to what was hopefully greener pastures at Columbia for their 3rd LP, Till the Casket Drops is a tale of 2 halves. Pusha T and Pharrell have both shitted on this album publicly. Last year, Skateboard P said the Carrie Hilson featured All Eyes on Me is the worst song he's ever been involved in. That's saying a lot for a guy 30 years in. And save for the Cause designed album cover, Pusha T has disowned the entire project. Now look, we understand their frustrations. The group broke up the following year of its release after Malice decided he was donezo, and Push says you can feel his brother's one foot out the door throughout the album. And P is right, that Carrie Hilson joint is trash. But the album is not a total waste of time. As we alluded to earlier, the first half houses several bangers. Ain't nothing wrong with singles, Kinda Like a Big Deal, Popular Demand, and I'm Good, the former featuring Kanye West. I wonder if that was the beginning of those good music Pusha T solo talks. Anyway, Showing Out works even though we're certain Yo Gotti didn't mean to say Millionaire Boys Club. Did nobody want to tell him to edit that? Anyway, it's around the halftime mark of the album where the momentum comes to a screeching halt. Not sure if it was pressure to impress their new label, but the final 6 or so tracks sound like blatant attempts at radio records, and boy are they terrible. All Eyes on Me, Champion, Footsteps, and Counseling are as bad of a 4-track stretch you can get from a group as talented as Clipse. The highs may be higher than the number 4 album on our list, but these lows? In addition to the hype off the previous album, sit this project comfortably in the last slot. Number 4, Exclusive Audio Footage. The group, almost named Full of Clips, comprised of brothers Gene and Terrence Thornton, BKA Malicious and Terror. Gene would shorten his stage name to Malice, and eventually Terrence would switch to Pusha T, with the T standing for Thankfully. Their debut exclusive audio footage was originally slated for a 1999 release, but after an ice-cold response to lead single The Funeral, the project was deaded and the group promptly dropped from the label. Ironically, The Funeral didn't even make the final track list. Guess it didn't matter since the final track list never made it to Best Buy shelves. Listening to it with 2025 ears, there definitely wasn't anything sounding like this in the late 90s, which was likely part of the issue. Once the world caught up with the unique Neptunes production via hits from Noriega, Mystical, and Hove, Clipse would reintroduce themselves through Lord Willing. That would be a much better intro to the group as they were a little rough around the edges on this one. The vision is there, but Pusha T's voice hadn't matured to what we know now, and some of the beat selection is questionable. We will say Malice, he been ready since day one though. He's spitting on here like he was already a vet. A prime example of them being a little too early in their song making is the first track, Hear Me Out. Now tell me if this beat sounds familiar.
Thing that separates us is Broadway. You can hear me out, yo. What I'm talking about, yo. You don't wanna get in this game.
Since the album got scrapped, the beat was passed on to Jada Kiss, and we got this classic.
And yeah, here go a blank check, rock yourself out. But in the meantime, girl, knock yourself out.
Do we need to tell you which version was better or no? No shade, but let's be serious. We were this close to being robbed of greatness. No fear though, signs of greatness were there. Breakfast in Cairo, Diana Ross, and Got Caught Dealing Part 2 are solid records that gave glimpses of what was to come. While footage shows a young Clipse trying to figure things out, with semi-cinematic street tales, it doesn't come close to the polished, true debut we'd get a few years later. Number 3, Hell Have No Fury. The relationship between artist and label is a tricky one. Just ask the Thornton brothers who sued Jive while still on Jive for refusing to grant them a release from their contract. So nope, Drake was not the first rapper to sue his own label. Due to said friction, the group took a non-voluntary 4-year break from their debut, as referenced in the single Mr. Me Too.
These are the days of our lives, and I'm sorry to the fans, but them crackers won't play a fair job.
Thankfully, the wait was worth it, as Hell Have No Fury was a hit amongst diehards and critics. Billboard, not so much, but who cares about numbers anyway? The highly acclaimed sophomore release is considered one of the best hip-hop albums of the mid-2000s. Music service Rhapsody called it one of the best coke rap albums ever. Now guys, you know over here at CT, we must keep it real. The album is fire. However, it's low-key overrated. Sure, the intro We Got It For Cheap, named after their popular mixtape series, kicks the album off proper light. But does getting a perfect XXL rating mean there are no skips? Cause we beg to differ. Despite credits showing production by Neptunes, Push has claimed Pharrell handled the beat solo dolo. And earlier we mentioned P saying All Eyes on Me was the worst song he's ever been involved in. Well, Trill and Dirty Money are on line 1. If we're being honest, no one is listening to those more than once. Now, if we're talking slaps, Hello New World, Keys Open Doors, and Chinese New Year are all dope listens that make hitting the repeat button easy. But do y'all think My Mom's Sorry is one of P's top tier beats? And yeah, the song is cool, but how many of y'all out there say wamp wamp in Everyday Convo? Or have said it ever? See what we mean? Now, on a brighter note, here is CT with Suckers for Strong Closers, and Nightmares with Belial is so fire it's worth 2 tracks. So mission accomplished there. We're not trying to go hard on the project, raining on anyone's Clipse parade, but on an album with only 12 tracks, there's little to no room for error. Number 2, let God sort them out. After countless delays, rumors, and pump fakes, the day has finally come for a new Clipse album. From funk flex bombs to grinding on tiny desk tables, the return album from Clipse has had a promo run for the age. No streaming sleepovers or single chasing found here. The rollout has been nothing short of refreshing. What about the music, you ask? As expected, they delivered. Production is on point. Push and Malice sound rejuvenated. Especially Malice, he ain't lost a step. While the subject matter may sound familiar, it's the creativity and the dope talk is what keeps us from brick fatigue. Standout features include Kendrick on Chains and Whips, Tyler on POV, and of course, what's a Clipse project without a verse from Day One fam Ab Liva? All of the above earned their feature price. Speaking of features, Push confirmed there was rumors of a Hove 16. They sent a few joints, but it never came to fruition. A J-verse would have been the cherry on top, not even gonna hold you, as he has more than enough to talk about since his last verse. Let us know which song you could have heard him on. Other standouts include So Far Ahead with Pharrell doing Pharrell things on the hook, and FICO featuring a flawless Malice verse and Stove got hooked. Didn't have Stove and Clipse on my 2025 bingo card, but it makes too much sense. If you know, you know. Now, if there was a nit to pick, we'd say that the songs can be a little formulaic, with Pusha going first and then Malice following on almost every joint. They try the back and forth a few times, but it doesn't hit the same as Jada and Styles or Red and Meth. But like we said, nitpicks. Only time will tell if this can leap to the number 1 spot, but we feel the combination of quality and impact of the numero uno album is gonna make that very difficult. For now, we're just excited to have the group back, so let's keep the momentum going, shall we? We ain't forgot about that Gangsta Grillz project you promised us, Push. We need that for Christmas. Please and thank you. Number 1, Lord willing. If at first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again. Words to live by, especially if you're Clipse. Sure, their first go-round didn't play out the way they imagined, you know, getting shelved, dropped, and whatnot. Thankfully, they persevered and kept the faith in Neptunes' production because their second attempt at a debut fared way better. Subject-wise, they tripled down on D-Boy talk, a lot more than the unreleased album, which leaned more street than Scarface. They gave their home state an anthem with Virginia and were able to toe the line of banging B-sides like Gangsta Lean and I'm Not You, with radio-friendly joints without sounding forced like When's the Last Time and Mod on Lover. But we can't and absolutely won't leave this review without speaking on the lead single that made Clipse a household name. What might be the hardest beat of all time, or at minimum the dopest freestyle beat ever, Grindin' was a smash. Funny enough, much like Jada's Knock Yourself Out, this beat almost ended up in the hands of someone else, Noriega. The rapper turned podcaster says he had the instrumental first and even recorded to it until Pharrell repoed it. Yoink, 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 yoink. Gave it to Clipse, and the rest is history. Now, if you've heard Nori on the remix, P did the rap game a huge favor. Speaking of that remix, that Pusha T verse was insane, and we still don't know what Birdman was talking about. But what else is new? If you told us this album had no skips, we wouldn't argue you down, but we do love a healthy debate. So let us know down in the comments, when it comes to groups, where does this debut stack up historically against other first outings? And last but certainly not least, where the hell is family? Do we smell a Star Trek Records Where Are They Now video brewing? You damn right we do. Let's get this to 200 likes so we know that y'all care too. Also, subscribe so you don't miss a list, tap into Patreon for bonus content, and come shop with us. Our Raise Me tees and hoodies are live as we speak. Until the next time, it's your man CJ for CT. I'm out.